Hey now, everybody. It's your pal Brady from Monkey Edge with a quick Monkey Nugget. Some of you guys might recognize the logo on this box here. If not, this is the Kingdom Armory logo, and this is a pretty special full-on custom piece from David. I'm going to do the Pulp Fiction thing here and open up the case, and light's going to come out. Boom. What we have inside is a large Bill the Butcher design that David really had done up in double bronze full scale configuration. And this stuff is hard to catch on camera to kind of adequately convey just kind of the depth and the coolness of the finish and the material here. David hand hammers this and patinas it out. It's full dragon skin texture on both sides of the bronze with almost kind of like a rebated mock bolster here with milled detailing on the ends here. Recessed titanium back spacer and nice big thick. So basically this is a frame lock size lock bar here, covered with a bronze scale. Chad Nichols stainless Damascus clip. Chad Nichols makes bitchin' beautiful stainless Damascus. This is a one-off machined clip for this piece. And let's go ahead and open her up. Boom. So the Bill the Butcher design, for those of you guys that aren't familiar, very super unique, unconventional look. Some guys, you look at it and at first you say, well, what in the hell would I do with that? But in reality, the blade profile is actually very similar to, my favorite Warren clip. It's just this added piece here that kind of, it gives it that super cool cleaver kind of vibe, but it also leads people into thinking that it has less utility than it actually does. So, you can see by covering this up, we have my favorite and many others, a nice Wharncliffe blade. You still very much get a usable tip for super utility here. So you still very much have a utilitarian base knife, right? This isn't just a show piece. Blade is S30V stainless that has been acid washed, tumbled acid wash finish, so give it kind of that whole vintage vibe for the whole piece. Crazy sharp hollow grinds, high hollow grinds on this. Again, this is basically a frame lock in the guise of a liner lock. We got, patinaed out titanium to kind of, again, go with that whole kind of Victorian type, steampunky type vibe. And it just, the cool thing about bronze is that it's almost like an organic material, right? It changes over time due to conditions and everything else. David's done an awesome job patinaing and hammering out this piece. But, 20 years from now, this knife's really going to be able to tell its own story. It's going to look super cool. And the other nice thing about the bronze is it gives knives a certain amount of heft, as opposed to other materials. So, you feel this knife in your hand, right? Got that kind of that big scallop here, so you can easily choke up and do fine work if you need. Reverse grip if you're into all that sort of stuff. And let's do the obligatory comparison to the Three Musketeers, your standards here, right? So, very much in that same, this is an XM18 for those of you guys that don't know. So kind of in that same size platform, right? That medium to large folder platform. Of course, I can't open that Sebenza with my left hand. We got our Chris Reeve Sebenza. And where's that abused SNG? Right there. Get that XM18 back in there. So very much in that size profile, but you can also kind of get a vibe of, catch on the vibe of the non-traditional look of the Kingdom piece. And one of the things that's cool about David, it's always kind of fun when, we get a box from him, because his pieces are all, for the most part individually done, and every one's just a little bit different. Even if it's the same model, even if it's the same materials, be extra milled details that weren't on the other one or in a different spot, all sorts of just little things. So it's always fun to, get pieces from David and kind of soak them all in and see the little touches, the little things that have changed since we had one before. And so once again, that is the large size Bill the Butcher, and I'm going to go ahead and call that steampunk bronzed out or Victorian bronze. As you saw in the beginning, full custom pieces from David generally come in an otter box signed by him. So this sucker will be on the site most likely for about a nanosecond. But before it flew out of here to its new happy home, I wanted to give you guys all a close-up view. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.